Okay, this is going to be a demonstration for how we're going to do the practice shading blending assignment for creating a realistic looking sphere. So, in order for us to do the realistic fruit drawings, we're going to have to create the illusion of 3D and rendering using shadows and lights and darks. We kind of went over a little bit in the handscape drawings, but we didn't really dive in super deep with how to properly shade and looking at light and dark. So, this project will really be all about just observational drawing. Just making sure that things look correct to the reference or image that we're looking at. So really trying to capture that realistic looking fruit drawing, for realistic, in this case, a realistic looking sphere. So just to give you kind of like an example of what we'll end up doing, I'm actually gonna do this with the pencil real quick. So using these three spheres though, we're going to be shading the spheres in a very specific way. So we're going to, I didn't even think about it. It would have been nice to put undershadow here, but we're not going to really have a chance to do that. But basically, we're going to, have the shadows be on the bottom right-hand corner, and it's going to go from like a light to a dark value. So essentially we're going to do the same exact thing with the colors. And we did a practice drawing with the fruits in black and white, and you'll see that we're going to use like almost the same process as how we did your fruit drawing, but we're going to apply it with colors instead. Essentially, you're going to create a 3D sphere like this, and we'll see. I think we might have a spot to do like an undershadow too, but it's going to look kind of like this when you're done with the spheres. So, okay, now in order for us to do that though, we're going to have to use the color wheel. And I wish I had a smaller color wheel, but I lost the colors that we're using. So, I lost my original color wheel. So, in order for us to do this though, we're going to have to use complementary colors. So for example, if you're going to color your shape or your fruit or whatever a green color, then the complementary of that color is going to be red. Alright. Same thing with purple. If your fruit is purple or your shape is purple, it's going to be yellow, orange, and blue. And even if you want to do like tertiary colors like a yellow green to be the red purple. Alright, so we're going to use those same colors from the color wheel. So the example we did was red and green. Okay, we're going to use those colors. So, you already got a chance to mix the complementary colors by accident on the last assignment. You would notice that when you mix those two colors, you're going to get this very yucky looking brownish color. So, the nice thing about like this yucky looking color though is it's going to actually render the shadows for our fruit drawing. Alright, so I'm actually going to make the fruit this sphere red. So we're going to do the same thing we did here. We're going to lightly shade the red. Again, just like the last project, you want to build it up very, very gradually. So I'm going to build up this red here. I'm going to try to leave this part up here white. And as I'm getting closer to the bottom right hand corner, I'm going to make it a little bit darker. Again, you want to, just like the last project, shade it in the direction of where it's of how it's forming. So you don't want to do like this stuff. You want to shade in the direction of the sphere. But I'm just going to gradually try to get a little bit darker on the bottom here. Okay. And then we're going to add a little bit of the shadow on the bottom here. I think we have room to do it for all of these, so this part can be a red here. So it's kind of essentially what I'm doing here, but I'm doing over here though. But I'm not going like super dark though, like I did here. So once you get like a good value of like the grays and your darkest grays in this picture, then you can go with mix them with the darker colors. So this green here, I'm mixing in with the red. Okay, when you mix those two colors though, it's going to create more of like a grayish brownish tone for your picture. All your complementary colors will do this in some shape or form. but you're going to mix these two colors together. So in order to get my darkest darks though, I have to mix these two colors together. Alright. So I'll mix those two together. Again, I'm building up very, very slowly. I'm not trying to rush things. And the bottom here, I'm going to mix those green and reds together. Alright. So, now my colors are starting to build up a little bit more. Now I can go a little bit darker with the red here. So now I'm trying to blend in the red with the green here. And as I'm going up higher though, I'm still leaving it a bit lighter, but eventually at some point though, I'm going to have these as white here. It's white, and I'm going to have to blend in the white with the other colors. So you have to use a mixture of the complementary colors and then the white to get the desired effect of that 3D sphere. And the reason why we're using the sphere as the as a color is because most of your fruits are going to be a round shape, so it makes sense to do use the sphere as a kind of like learning how to like shade the colors. So again, I'm trying to blend it in the direction of the fruit. And now I'm pressing a little bit harder with the oil pastels in order to get the colors that I want. You have to just build up the pastels a little bit, more and more as you work on it. And I'm letting you know right now, though, this isn't easy. This takes a lot of practice, a lot of work to get it working right. It's like one of those things where it's like practice makes perfect. And then now I'm going to go a little bit darker with the green on the bottom right. So this is my darkest dark value. Go darkest I can down here. Mix the two colors. Mix the red together. Alright, and that's how you create your realistic looking sphere. So you look at that though, it's really popping out those colors. And I just press a little bit harder with the red to get rid of those little white spots. Just like the last project, you want to color it the same way. Alright. So that's how you get like that realistic sphere. Now you can follow those same rules with colored pencils. So if you remember like the critique that we did at the end of class, I had you guys, make a choice between, if I want to do oil pastels, I'll do an oil pastels. If you feel really comfortable with oil pastels, I do encourage you guys to. Ooh, this ain't red, but we'll use it anyways. There's a shade of red, but. I told you guys, if you're really comfortable with oil pastels, though, you can choose to use oil pastels again. If not, then, go right ahead and use colored pencils. Colored pencils work the almost same exact way. The only difference is instead of blending the colors, you're going to have to shade and build up your colors. So, I'm doing like the same exact thing I did here. I'm just lightly building up my values on the top here, and I'm going darker on the bottom right hand corner. Now it's a little bit easier to blend with the color pencils, but I feel like you get richer colors with the oil pastels. But you kind of have to make that decision though if you want to use colored pencils, oil pastels. It's up to you. But you can get the same desired effect on either or. But same thing like you do with the oil pastel. So you want to build up your values gradually. Okay, don't rush it. I'm building up very gradually. It works the same way as the oil pastel. So if you press down real hard at the beginning, though, you can't get the colors that you want. And now I'm going to use, like red complementary to green. So now I'm going to mix the green with the red. And that'll create my shadows for the picture. Okay, so I'm doing the same exact thing over again, but this time with color pencils. And I do suggest just experimenting one with color pencils, one with the oil pastels. See which one you like the most, and go with whatever medium you want to do at the end. Alright? So I'm gonna give you guys, a little bit more freedom of choice. So I know last year when I had my students do this project, some kids just hated the oil pastels, and I just told them, tough, you have to deal with it. But I'm being a little bit more flexible with you guys, since I like you guys this year. So, and I know some of you guys, you're just struggling with the oil pastels, and there's just like nothing you can really do about it. But just something to consider with the colored pencils, though, is it does take a little bit more time to work. You really have to build up those colors a little bit more. It does take some more time with it. I'm doing the same exact thing, though. It does take a little bit more time to build up those colors as opposed to the other colors. And in this case, you don't really need the white. The colored pencils. The white's a nice way to blend the colors, but you don't really technically need it. And now I'm just pressing a little bit harder to, get more of the richer colors. Get more of that red that I want. Thing is, though, I didn't really grab a red. This is Cuba. I don't know what Cuba is, but it looks like it's a shade of red, but it's not exactly red. You get the idea, though. I'm gonna go back with the green here, and I get more of that darker value that I want. I mean, you're not really mixing the colors. It's more of like your, I want to say it's, I forgot what the word was called, but it was like you're mixing the colors. Is what happens with the, it's called varnishing. That's what it is. When you, overlap the oil pastel colors, it's more of like varnish. Not oil pastels, the colored pencils. You're varnishing. So I'm pressing really hard on it. You see that I'm building up these values, though, to get that realistic looking sphere, that color. And then you can use the white to varnish it. So, yeah, that's how you do it. Alright. And I did want to show you one more thing, though. This is kind of like more advanced, or actually the advanced part when we do the fruit drawing. But yeah, this is do you want an oil pastel, do you want a colored pencil, and then whichever one you feel most comfortable with. The last one, I want you to try a different color combination. So maybe you might want to do like a green first, just make it like a whole green ball, and then use the red to create your shadows. You can actually do the opposite of that for this last one, or you can pick a different color combination. All right.